Yo, what's up? What's going on? It's your boy King Joe. Welcome King Joe Show. And oh my gosh, we're gonna get into it. We're talking about um the Kanye West situation, right? We're talking about the Kanye West situation and what's going on with the Kanye West and everything with that, which should be fun. Um, Hold on, see if I got everything set up right on my Facebook page. Let's see if we get everything. So it should be fun to sit here and kind of talk about Kanye West. He had his first town hall today, and in the town hall he talked. It was interesting. It was kind of interesting. We're gonna get into it. I just want to make sure I can see the comments because I'm streaming live, and I want to make sure I can see the comments. So let me get that situation. Make sure this is public, so I can see all the comments that's coming in. So let me change the settings and the privacy. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. All right, so let's see. See if we come back. Are we here? Are we here? Are we here? All right, there we go. There we go. All right. How's everybody doing? This your boy. Brain says, listen, Chester's already going. I lost some brain says, listen to Kanye. All right, so he's already coming up. All right, let's talk about what happened. Kanye had his first presidential town hall meeting. I think that's the best way we can describe it is a town hall meeting. That's the best way we can describe it as Kanye West having a town hall meeting. And it was fully Kanye West. It was definitely Kanye West style. It was artistic. It was helter skelter. It was all over the place. And it was beautiful and ugly. And it was crazy all in one, right? All packed in one. It's what you really kind of expected with a Kanye West presidency, right? It's kind of what you expected with a Kanye West presidency. A lot of people are going to diss him, right? And we know, I already know. Listen, we already know what the media talking points is. Already started on Twitter. It's already started on Facebook. We already know what the media talking points are going to be. Now, what I'm going to do is try to decipher the stuff, the mess, the craziness, and make sense of it all. And I would start out by saying this. Kanye West, y'all not gonna believe what I'm about to say. He's actually onto something. It's it's actually he's actually onto something. And what it is that Kanye West is onto is it's kind of like what happened with Trump. Nobody took Trump seriously, but Trump was so different and a breath of fresh air for those who was looking for somebody who was radical. Uh, it's special too. It's special too. Radical, red, far right, things. Trump represented that. So it was intriguing to see Trump go through the metamorphosis from being the billionaire person that's on TV to being the presidential candidate, right? So everybody did not Trump. There's no way Trump could win. No way Trump could win. No way Trump could win. And then you start, it kind of switched, and you're like, oh snap, he has a shot. You know what I'm saying? Then it gets, and he really didn't win the popular vote, but he won. You know what I'm saying? So, and all the gurus, all the experts, everybody thought it was funny. Everybody thought Trump was a joke. Remember that? 4 years ago it happened. Remember all that happened. Kind of the same way Kanye starts this year. People are like Kanye running for president. Like, what? Kanye running for president? He told you he was going to do it. Kanye running for president? It's crazy. It's not happening. It's crazy. It's not going to go down. Right? That's what everybody's saying. But it started a little scary. He got a little momentum behind. Kanye has a little momentum behind him, kind of like Trump with the Tea Party. Had a little momentum behind him, and it exploded. This has the same chance of doing it. It's so different. It's unlike anything that we've seen before in politics. I know y'all don't want to hear it because y'all just here for the jokes. Y'all just want to make jokes. And I'm not really I'm going to make some jokes, but there ain't going to be a lot of jokes, right? So he has a shot. Outside shot is whatever. He has, as crazy as this sound, a couple of things Kanye needs to do, and he has a legitimate shot to make some noise. I'm not going to say he's going to win, but he has a legitimate shot to make some noise. And I'll tell you who's the scariest about it. And right now, it's the Democratic Party because they're scared that he's going to take votes away from Biden. And he's got enough of a shot to make some noise. And I'm not gonna doubt him because let's get this fun. Like people like making fun of Kanye. They say he's mentally ill and all this other stuff. But let's be honest, this is a young man that came from a single parent home in Chicago. He said I was the top. I'm going to be the best producer. Guess what? He ended up being the best producer. He said I'm going to be the best rapper. Guess what? He ended up being one of the best rappers. He said I'm going to be a best stylist. Guess what? He ended up being the best stylist, right? He said I'm going to be a billionaire. Guess what? He's a billionaire. He said I'm going to make a Christian album, make it popular. Guess what? He made a Christian album to make it popular. So as much as we like to make jokes about Kanye West is probably everything he said so far legitimately. He's kind of done. He's called it. You can say what you want to say, but he's called it, and it came through. Each time, he's called it, and it came through, right? So he's called being president. He's called being the number one producer, being the number one rapper, being number one in fashion. He's called being a billionaire. He's called all those things, and all those things will come true, right? Like him, love him or hate him, you got to give props what props do, okay? So when he says I'm going to be the president, I'm running for president in 2020, guess what? He's running for president in 2020, right? Now, let's get to this Helter Skelter town hall meeting of Kanye West. The good, bad, and the ugly. Let's start with the bad, because, you know, everybody, this is going to be the major talking points for the next few days. The weeks, I can already see the coonery and I can already see the Uncle Tom. You know what? Uncle Tom is kind of like, y'all be saying Uncle Tom, but y'all don't know what y'all talking about. So when you call a black man Uncle Tom, you know, like Uncle Tom in the book actually was a slave that was killed by white men for protecting his people. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All right, let's neither here nor there, but y'all go ahead and do that. All right, but anyway, let's go through it. So he's already been called a cool. He's already called Uncle Tom. He's been called all those things, right? So let's start with the bad. Well, let me say this. It wasn't as like people just want to make jokes because that's the society we in. A lot of people just want to make jokes and laugh and stuff like that. And I get it because there's a lot of negativity. So to get a good laugh in is kind of probably needed. But if you really paid attention, he kind of set a platform in the Kanye kind of way. Of course, it's in the Kanye kind of way, but he kind of did set a platform. And let's talk about the negative stuff first. The negative is this. Kanye probably needs an interpreter. Or he needs a script to read. It is a script. Because when Kanye goes off coast, Kanye goes off coast. And he's going to say something crazy like Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves. He only took them to work for other white people. He took them from the slaves to work for other white men. That's going to be the print. I already know that's going to be the clip that everybody plays. That Harriet Tubman didn't free the slaves. She only took them from working for one white man to another white man, right? And I just had this discussion with my sister about this. I said, he's kind of right, but it just sounds terrible to say. You know what I'm saying? Because we know the slaves wasn't truly free to the Emancipation Proclamation, right? So we know that. We know what Harriet Tubman did was she had she was, with the help of the Underground Railroad, she had the slaves run to freedom, which is states or land or provisions that had free. Some people say they stopped listening right then, and I knew what he was trying to say. They led the free states and provisions that were free for black people to live, right? So a lot of people got turned off as soon as he said that. They was like, And see, I'm the type of person where I listen to everything because 30 seconds of somebody saying something stupid doesn't dictate everything they got to say, right? So, and that's certain people. You had that right there. Chester said, I stopped listening right there. And Chester, you had that right? That's your right. Some people going to stop listening to me when I say what I say. He kind of was right if you really do the history. Because they had, when Harriet Tubman got the free, they ran the Underground Railroad, they got the slaves to go up north. It was cool until they passed, I think it was the Fugitive Act. And then when they passed the Fugitive Act, then they would go get those slaves. They would go try to find the slaves that ran away from the slave owners and bring them back down to slavery. Because they weren't really free. They just ran to a land that didn't do slavery, right? So when that act passed in the United States, was not. So it wasn't until the Emancipation Proclamation that it was no more slavery. But we all know that was really some systematic stuff that ended up turning to Jim Crow, which was a different form of systemic mental oppression, right? So mental and physical oppression. So that's gonna sound really bad. Anybody that says that you're gonna get turned off by that. Especially black people. A lot of black people, because Harriet Tubman is a hero. She's folklore and everything, but that's gonna be what everybody in the press is going to run with. That's gonna be the first. That's gonna be the first thing that everybody's gonna run with. Is the Harriet Tubman didn't free black people. She just had them working for different white people, which is not true. Like some black people, Harriet Tubman freed actually when it started building buildings and businesses for themselves. So it's not 100% true, but there are some black people that came from down to slavery that did work for other white people, and that's fine. That's what happened. So that's gonna be the first thing everybody's gonna talk about. They couldn't believe Kanye said that, right? And that's Kanye. He's gonna say something crazy just to get you to look crazy. All right. So that's the first. That's the major bad thing I think that he said. The second thing that he said, I think that bad. Then we get to the good. The second thing that he said that was kind of crazy was he said that if you have a baby, we should give you $1 million. Right? That also was kind of like, what Kanye, what you doing? Kanye, hey, it was women all over the world like, yeah. I'm like, Kanye, is that even Is that even fiscally possible? You know what I'm saying? If you have a baby, we're gonna give you $1 million. I don't even think that's possible, but I think it is possible, but it's to do it, is highly unlikely, right? So when he said that I think that's another one of the bad, stupid stuff that Kanye said. All right, I think that's one of the crazy things he said. Where he said we give. That was funny. I think even the crowd got like, what? The crowd was like, did he say that? At the Harriet Tubman thing, people were quiet. It was like dead silence when he said that. It was like, did he say what I said? One girl was recording. She's like, let's go. She instantly was out when he said that. But then when he came back and said, get everybody, everybody started laughing because it was wild, right? So that was a really bad moment for him also, right? I think that was a horrible moment for him also because and I'm going to tell you why, because it goes back to something that happened that he said good that I actually like. That kind of overrode what he said was good. So this is the bad of what we got Kanye. So one, the Harriet Tubman statements, which you guys are going to play over and over and over and over and over again, because that's all that you guys listen to, and that's fine. And then the $1 million baby thing, that's something that the press is already playing over and over and over again, right? But that was a bad thing. The third bad thing I think that he had, and I said initially that he needs to be on script. He needs a script. He needs to do like a preacher. Stay on script. Go on script. Secondly, the bad thing, the outfit and the haircut. We can't even talk about the outfit and the haircut. You right? I get it. I get the military garb. I no, I don't. I don't get it. I don't get that. I don't get the haircut and the bulletproof vest. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? We need Kanye to come out in something fashionable, right? Something like you want to join Osteen. I don't expect it to be. I really would like to see him in a shirt and tie. Come on, Kanye, this is presidency, baby. You need to run for a shirt and tie. And I think I can fix Kanye's campaign to make him, and that's going to get to the good. I can fix Kanye's campaign to make Kanye really fight for a chance to win. I can fix it. I'm going to tell you how. And let's get to the good. He had some amazing points that it did look like, hey, Chester, you know what it looked like when we was in college, when we was pledging, and y'all cut them Z's and everything in our hair. It looked like Kanye had just went on a pledge for T5T. T5T. Kanye wasn't just he got that was Kanye pledging for politics, I guess. You know what I'm saying? He had the shave, he had the diamonds and everything in his head. That was crazy. That was crazy. So that had to go in the bad. The outfit, whatever. I think even though it's a way Kanye he's a fashion icon. He's a fashion icon. Kanye's a fashion icon. He's a designer. He's he's all those things, right? Kanye is a designer. He's a fashion icon. He can come up with something that looks presidential, but looks good at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And then just he should have went with a civil fade because Kanye, this is president. You going for a job. This is an executive job, right? Another bad thing is he said, I don't care if I win the presidency or not. Why you running there? You know what I'm saying? I guess to be a voice, I get it. But you probably should run if you don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't care if you're going to be the president, there's somebody who's going to care about being the president, run, and, take it more seriously, right? because a lot of people took it as a joke, and I think he could have came out and legitimized himself by just a little bit more conservative and stand on point, because he had some good points, and we're gonna get to the good now. He had some good points. He just didn't. He should have outlined what it was going to be, right? One thing they talked about, and the big thing that they talked about over the time was Planned Parenthood, right? So he talked about Planned Parenthood, which is a great point. He made a great point. He made a stance on what he was, which he was saying that he was not for abortion. He didn't want not want babies to abort. And then he said something very cool. He said that you would have the right to abort, depending on what happens. You have the right to abort. But then he came back and said, uh, um, anyone know the replay of the town hall will be posted? I think it will. If it does, I'll post it on my page, Mr. Smith. I will post it on my page, Mr. Smith. So he talked about having the right to, but he didn't outline it. That's the problem. He needed to outline exactly what he was saying, because he said some powerful things. But people are so much making jokes about he needs his medicine, he's mentally ill, and I'm like, yo, he's a billionaire and he had to fight mental illness. Pay attention. Let's be honest. Kanye is more successful really than Donald Trump. Donald Trump inherited a lot of the stuff he got. It's really more success than him. I would get that for you, Mr. Smith. Right? So, but his platform, and I think if he ever gets precise in his platform, it can make and he stay away from the types of things like Harriet Tubman and trying to say something controversial where he's trying to educate somebody that some things they didn't know and it comes out wrong. If he says something, he stays on the script, he has a shot. Because guess what? They're going to listen, if nothing else, to make jokes about it. Right? So they're going to pay attention, if nothing else, to make jokes about it. So instead of so use it and be legible and make sense, right? So let's talk about some of the things that were good. He talked about, because I want to get him, I won't make this video too long. He talked about Planned Parenthood. He said he was against abortion, but he said that people should have an option. He said to get $50,000 rather than abort their baby. And I agree with that. I think it should be an option where mothers have an option to get more financial security instead of abortion. Because right now it seems like you get more you get paid for the abortion, and it should be an incentive to not to having the baby, right? Because what we don't want to happen is what's happening in Japan, where they're having a shortage of population, right? We don't want to have China either, but we want the middle. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that he could precisely put as, hey, I want to have an option for Planned Parenthood rather than just having abortion. Because right now we pay for abortion. Taxpayers pay for we abort. You can go abort, and someone pays for you to abort the baby. So so that's one thing. Hey, listen, James, when you hear it, it's gonna be all over the place. You just gotta pay attention, right? So I'm trying to make it legible for you. I'm making it legible. He wrote Scrabble. I'm trying to make it legible for you. I'm trying to make it legible. So, and if Kanye people hear me, listen, get in contact with me, dog. I'm telling you, I will help you be competitive in this joint. He just got to do it. So he had a plan. He said $50,000, a $50,000 credit if they decide to keep the child to help with parenting. He had a young lady in the town hall come up and say, because he was talking about he was going to get rid of Plan A and Plan B. And she came up and said, hold on, wait a minute. I just aborted my baby. I didn't want to, but I didn't have the money to, I didn't feel like I could support my child, so I aborted it. That's real. That's real people stuff. And that's what I liked about the town hall. It was helter-skelter. It was very true. It was very honest, and it wasn't political. And that's why I think a lot of people gravitated to Donald Trump, because he was saying stuff, like it or hate it, it didn't seem like the regular political mumbo jumbo, right? Maybe some of y'all think we need regular political. If you're going to do that, probably need to vote for Biden, okay? So, so I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. I'm just telling you what was good and bad about Kanye, right? So that's the first thing. Secondly, he talked about prison reform. He talked about prison reform, and this is something that's very real. He said too. He made a statement, and I said this boy might can work. one of his biggest applauses of the evening was when he was saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I might be all over the place. I just smoked one last night, right?" And they was like, "What?" And everybody's like, started laughing, like, "Yo." He said, "But what I'm saying is, if somebody's arrested for marijuana charges, we're going to free them. We're going to get them out of prison." So, but what he really wants to say is, nonviolent, uh, uh, nonviolent offenders, drug nonviolent offenders. This is what he really meant. Drug nonviolent offenders should, we're going to pardon those sentences and make sure they're not, as long as somebody who has a violent offense or something like that. That's a very great platform to stand on. Makes sense. But what he said was, if you was arrested for marijuana, we're gonna get you out of jail. That's his platform. That's a great platform. Non-violent drug people with non-violent offenses, especially drug marijuana offenses, get them out of jail or shorten their sentences. That's a great platform. That made sense. That made sense. He also talked about race. He talked about being a part of the human race and being able to work together as a people, right? And to have rights. He talked about having rights. He stopped the audience that was going there. He said, "Hey, she has the right to speak." And that's one thing, that's another big thing that's happening right now, especially in social media, where you have a lot of leftists, call a spade a spade. You have a lot of leftists that if you say anything against what they perceive to be the norm, they're trying to cancel you. It's really like a bully situation where we're not gonna support him. Like right now on Twitter, what everybody's saying, cancel Kanye because of the Harriet Tubman statement. They won't go research to see if it's true or not. They just want to cancel him. You know what I'm saying? Or they say, "Hey, my high school taught me." They won't research. They're ready to cancel. They don't have to. They don't want to hear anything else he has to say. And I'm saying that's big for him to say, "Hey man, listen to her." He actually gave her the last word. What candidate does that? The candidate's always a bite to try to get the last word on any type thing. And he sat back and listened. He said, "Hey, one thing I'm going to do on my candidacy is listen." That's big. And he was picking it was a town hall with a lot of people picking random people. Maybe I hope he was smart enough to place people there and pick them, but it looked like he's picking random people to come say something they wanted to say. So he came and had some very great platform things that he can run on. He just has to put them together. He has to hold on a second. It's water. Mouth getting dry. All right, he has to put them together. He has to bring them together. Be more pointed and say, "Hey, I want to do this, 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 this. This is my platform." Make sure we know it. Talk about it. This is the first one. I think he said he's going to Indiana. I think he brought in Indiana. Now, it was funny when he brought in Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby. He's like, "Y'all don't like Michael Jackson?" It was like, "Yeah." He said, "Y'all don't like Bill Cosby?" He's like, "Yeah." He was like, "Wow." So that was funny. That was kind of funny. And he was very funny. Um, he has a voice and he's trying to use it. I'm not saying he has my vote. Not yet. I can't say he has my vote. But, I mean, come on, man. In the field of who's running for president, you got Donald Trump. You got Biden. Yeah. Then you come in with Kanye. Kanye can make a lot of noise. And I think really the Democrats feel like they're more scared of Kanye. But if you listen to Kanye's platform, he really has an independent platform, right? He really has an independent platform, which a lot of people, because he talks about prison reform, which is more of the leftist platform, and he talks about but then he talks about killing Planned Parenthood, which is more of a right platform. So he's running an independent platform. It's not the middle. He just needs to be a little bit more focused. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that he's him. People, even though I'm a Christian, even though he's cussing, he still talks about God. It's like a Kanye West cusser. You know what I'm saying? He gonna cuss, but you gonna talk about God too. You know what I'm saying? So he's the first song he came out was major hit, Jesus Walk. You know what I'm saying? So that's Kanye. That's always been Kanye. He's always been a religious cusser. You know what I'm saying? So I think he has a shot as an independent. He's straight down the middle. Everybody's gonna be say what you want to say. Everybody's gonna be talking about him. And everybody's gonna be covering him to see what he's gonna say, right? It is not far fetched for him to catch the heart of the people, even with him saying stupid stuff. Because let's be honest, Kanye has said some crazy stuff that should have got Kanye out of the business and out the game, and he keeps living to see another day. I see nothing. He said very real. I think she's talking about the Planned Parenthood. He said some amazing stuff, and he still comes fighting back, right? So I'm finna holler at you guys. Listen, I'm gonna put the video. I'm gonna put the video up on my page of the town hall. It was very interesting, very entertaining. I was entertained the whole time. From the point he got on stage with the haircut to the point where he got off, and to the point where he told one of the people, "Hold up, I'm gonna let you finish." And everybody went wild because of the Taylor Swift situation. That was hot. That was crazy. So it was a really good time. It was good. It was bad, and it was ugly. But at the same time, I think it's what do you expect? It's Kanye West. All right. I'll holler at you guys soon, man. Hey, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Yo, we'll come back. We'll talk some more. I'll probably talk some more about it. We'll go back and watch it again and really digest some other things. This is just a first reaction of what I thought was good, what I thought was bad. And I listened, not trying to make jokes. I mean, we always try to joke on people and make people, look worse than, what it really is. And he said some bad things, but I understood what he was trying to get across. And if you open your mind and listen, it was pretty good. It wasn't bad. I give it out of 1 to 5, probably a 3. 3. I'd probably give it a C plus, B minus, C plus. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't all bad. People gonna make it bad. It wasn't all bad. So if you're excited for Kanye, it wasn't a bad start. They have a Kanye for President group. Go add it. I just was added to it on Facebook, and he's been added. I think he's added to Oklahoma. He's been added to Oklahoma and Indiana. So he is making ballots, and you guys have a chance to vote for him. So he's making ballots. He has a shot. So, and I think Kanye. What do y'all think? What y'all think would be a respectable? Open your mind. That's all you need to do. I agree. Open your mind is all good. What do y'all think would be respectable for Kanye? Well, I mean, y'all ask questions. What questions y'all got? If y'all got any questions, ask. What y'all think would be a respectable number for Kanye, percentage wise? I say if he get about 10 to 12%, I think if he get anywhere from 15 to 25%, I think that's a win for him. Then I think in 2024, if he's smart, he'll go back and look at the mistakes he made. At 2024, he has a real shot. What y'all think? So answer that below in the comment section. What y'all think would be good for Kanye? Good number for Kanye. I think he can make noise. I think the Democrats are scared. I think even the Republicans are scared. He can be a wild card and affect this election. What would be cold is if he made so much noise that one of them has to, that Biden has to choose him as a VP. That would be cold. You know what I'm saying? That would be cold. So we'll see. All right, man. I'm hollering at your Key Joe Show. Yep.